Hello and welcome to Detroit. I'm John Nicholson. You know, when it comes to unlimited hydroplane racing, this is as prestigious as it gets. It's the Super Bowl, the Final Four, the Kentucky Derby, all rolled into one. You ask any racing team, if you can only win one race, which one would it be? This is it, the Gold Cup. One of the big stories here this year is a local guy who lost his ride, but he's got one this weekend. Let's go to Steve Montgomery with more on that.
John Mark Tate is indeed the pride of Canton, Michigan, having won the Gold Cup twice in 1991 and 94 right here on this Detroit River, driving for the late Steve Woomer. But he started this week as a spectator. Fred Leland, seeing him in the pits, knowing he had an extra Pico American Dream, put the two together. Suddenly, Mark Tate has a chance for a third Gold Cup.
We do indeed have beautiful weather here this weekend. Temperatures in the 80s, a bit breezy. The event's been moved back 6 weeks to get this better weather because of how it was the last couple of years. Last year, 40s, rainy, just pretty awful. Now we're in really good shape. In fact, in shape to show you how Heat 1A went.
In Heat 1A, the three fastest qualifiers were all drawn together. Miss Budweiser, the Appian Jeronimo, and Steve David in the Miss Chrysler Jeep. It also meant that in every heat of racing so far in 1998, Steve David would be racing Dave Vilwalk in Miss Budweiser.
So here is how it went, and here is the Miss Budweiser, unbeaten so far, and here is the big challenger at this point, Steve David, in the Chrysler Jeep Prime Star. Appian Jeronimo, Jerry Rice's boat, Mitch Evans at the helm. And we see the lineup. Master Tire, of course, is the only piston-powered boat with Mark Webber driving. And it is Ken Muscatello driving the Autobahn, filling out the five-boat field in Heat 1A. As they headed up for the start, Budweiser had grabbed the inside lane.
Even in the days of the flag starts, John, the Gold Cup was always a clock start here on the Detroit River. The drivers trying to be at start-finish exactly as the clock expires. Dave Vilwalk in great shape.
On board the Appian Jeronimo, you can see the Budweiser rooster tail out ahead. Steve and David and the Appian Jeronimo in a real good race for second place, and David in the Chrysler Jeep pulls ahead.
The Appian Jeronimo team trying to sort out those brand new boat bugs as we go aboard Dave Vilwalk's Miss Budweiser. Nobody out ahead of him, John, as there seldom is.
Back on the dock, Nate Brown hoping his crew can get the Lumar window film together in time for Heat 1B. More about that in just a moment. But Dave Vilwalk cruising to victory in Heat 1A. That's 4 straight heat wins so far this year for Dave and the Big Red Machine. As we take a look at the checkered flag, and Dave off to the same kind of start that he had last year, in which he won his first 19 heats before turning over at Tri-City. So 400 points for Bud, 300 for Steve and David in the Miss Chrysler Jeep. Let's go to Steve with the winning owner.
Good start, Bernie.
Man, yeah. What's that? Can't win them all if you don't win that one. But seriously, that's rough out there. But I think they look real good.
So Budweiser throws down the challenge, and here is the guy who hopes to take it up, Mark Evans, top driver for the Pico American Dream Team, but not the only Pico driver this weekend. More on that from Steve.
You had to like Team Leland's chances in Heat 1B, all three of their boats drawn together. The only real question, had they solved the horsepower problems that had plagued them so far in the 98 season? We were about to find out.
Heat 1B started out with the Pico boats side by side. Here is the lineup as planned, but Nate Brown's team was not able to get the Lumar window film into the water, so was a scratch for Heat 1B. A legal start, but not a good start.
You could hear the gunfire, John, and the boats are still 1,500 feet from the start line, so the Pico team racing with each other, playing it a little conservative right here.
Mark Evans driving the Pico 96. Mark Tate driving the Pico 98. As we look from the O'Doul's eye in the sky and see Evans open the lead around the Belle Isle turn.
And a good sign already for the Pico team. Their boats appear to have the horsepower that was missing in Evansville.
On the other hand, problems for Carpenter Communications in this heat. Mike Webber's boat died in the water and he was out. This is the third Pico boat. The RS Easton Hotels presents Miss Bell Forklift with Rick Christensen driving in third place. Your winner, Heat 1B, was Mark Evans, taking it with Pico 96. So he's piled up the points also. 400 for Pico American Dream 96. That ties him with the Budweiser, which took 1A. And Steve talked with the winner.
Mark, you think the horsepower's back?
I think so. I think the guys worked hard last night. They stayed up all night and worked on my flaps and stuff, and we got the horsepower, so we'll get out there and get after that red boat and really see what we got.